What is up, psychology kids? It's your old pal, Mr. Carly, really old pal, Mr. Carly. I'm going to go through the Cognition quiz assessment review guide. So, once again, don't forget that you have the materials here. I crossed out 3.3C cognitive biases handout. You don't need that. It's not going to be on the exam. We just didn't have time, and I don't feel comfortable testing you for something that we didn't really learn. So, anyway, let's see. Let me make this perfect. Okay. I'm not going to spend a ton of time going over all the different terms. You can find those easily in the slideshow on your notes handouts. It's not hard to find. If you have questions about it, let me know. Big thing, I guess, that I will say, though, is that this heuristics represents a category. So when we talk about problem solving, really the way it should look is you have trial and error, algorithm, and then heuristics, which are, whoops, that's not how it should look. Okay, heuristics, and under heuristics, you would have hill climbing, working backward, analogic problem solving. Heuristics are things that your brain automatically kind of preset wants to go to. So when you have a problem to solve, you will try to do it that way. Also, we talked about other types of schemata besides role schema and event schema. So if you know a couple of those, it's fine, but I'm not going to specifically ask about them. Okay, so prototypes. When we're thinking of prototypes, we're just trying to think of what are the prime top examples that you have in your schema for those concepts. So I could give you mine, but I don't know if that's going to be really helpful. I mean, all you have to do is really think about just what is the first thing that comes to your mind. So I was just trying to give some examples. Do you think of Taco Bell? Do you think of Tin Roof Tacos? Do you think of Taco John's we have out in the Midwest? Taco John's. That's the most Midwest name for a taco place that's ever existed. But anyway, music. Do you like rock? Do you like country? Do you think of Ghost automatically? Avatar, Opeth, Rage Against the Machine, things like that. History. You think of a specific historical event. Maybe you think of boring. Maybe you think of doomed to repeat, something like that. So some kind of thing that relates to your schemata. Natural or artificial concepts. So remember, natural concepts, it's kind of reverse what you might intuitively think. So natural are things that don't have set criteria. They kind of occur and you have a certain feeling about them of some sort. And you kind of know it from experience. So what is a sandwich? A sandwich is a natural concept. You kind of know a sandwich from experiencing different sandwiches in your life. Hopefully a Quiznos sandwich before they went bankrupt. So prime numbers, those have a specific set of definitions that people agree upon in math. They have certain characteristics. So namely that they can only be multiplied by, one, or they're only divisible by like themselves in one, like those are their multiples. But anyway, so we've got, that's artificial, has specific definition. Same thing with vowels. There are only specific letters that are vowels. A, E, I, O, U. And then I used to learn sometimes Y. I don't know what you learned. You should tell me in the comments what you learned about the letter Y, because we have to have some random crud to be in the comments because that's how YouTube influencing works. So anyway, that's artificial. Water is a natural concept. Generally, you don't need specific identifiers to know what water is. You learn that from experience. You could say it's 2 hydrogen and 1 oxygen, but I mean, you knew what water was long before you learned that, I imagine. So they're natural. You experience it. Same thing with sunlight. Heat would be natural. You experience. Music. This is a tough one. So I think music, it doesn't have, there's obviously musical theory and there's musical genres that people agree upon, but I think music itself is more of a natural concept. It's an experience. You kind of know it when you hear it. So it's natural. And then intelligence is a bonus. I would say this one falls into both. It's kind of up to what you think. So you ask 1,000 different psychologists what intelligence is, you're going to get 1,000 different answers is what they like to say. So it's kind of something you know when you experience it, but it also has specific definitions that different textbooks give. So that was just a little bonus one thrown there for you. How you use assimilation. So remember, assimilation involves adding to a schema. So whatever, you pick a concept, right? Whether it be like, I don't know, music, and then maybe you learned about music groups. You've got you learn about different genres and country, and then you learn about disco. I don't know why I thought of that one. But then you learn about this new one. It's called Rockabilly. It involves rock and country. It's gonna be awful, but yeah, now you got that. So if you don't know what that is, you can look it up. So that would be assimilation and adding to the schema. Accommodation would be kind of, it's not necessarily subtracting from the schema, but it's kind of narrowing your schema in lieu of, or in light of new information. So I think we were talking about the Civil War today. Maybe you're learning about like wars. You have the schema of war, and usually you think of like interstate wars, and but now you learned about like and then you know about like uh, wars of independence was kind of part of interstate wars. But then you learn about this new kind. It's like